Hello, welcome back to the We Are City channel. Today is our match day review of City's amazing win against Crystal Palace in the end, wasn't it? And I call it amazing 45 minutes in the second half. The first half, not so much. So City went into the game after that 3-3 draw with Newcastle, and we're thinking, you know, City have shown they're not so strong defensively, especially in that Newcastle game. We weren't sure how City were going to perform, but we expected, you know, City would beat Crystal Palace. I know Crystal Palace got a really good record against City, beat City quite a few times, but before the game, Wilfried Zaha was ruled out due to injury. That put us in a fantastic position, didn't it? And you're thinking, you know what, City should go on and win this game. First half starts, and Crystal Palace came into it. Patrick Vieira really set up his side well. They played sort of Nathaniel Klein as a sort of right wing back, and they switched between a back five and a back four. That worked really well for Crystal Palace, and so I nullified Phil Foden on the other side. I think what Vieira had realised is that Phil Foden is not the one he wants to track back, is he? So by playing Nathaniel Klein there, that made Phil Foden end up in a bit of trouble with who he's marking. Cancelo was up against then Ward it was, and also Nathaniel Klein. That made it very difficult on the overlap, and Crystal Palace tactically got it right. The first goal came from, I have to say, a really poor mistake from Ederson in the build-up. Comes out to grab the ball, can't claim it. Cancelo panics and has to make a foul. It was a foul on Andre Ayew. And then a free kick comes in. Real nice swinging. I think it's from Eze. Straight off John Stones' boot. Ederson nearly actually gets to it. And that is 1-0 Crystal Palace. And that's a really bad start for City. The players look around each other and you think, good start, but okay. Very early goal for Palace. We'll move on. Anderson at the back was playing some wonderful long balls all game, as we know he does. One of the best defenders in the Premier League, I believe, at the moment. So he was playing those passes. One of them was dangerous. Quite a few of them were dangerous. City was struggling to defend it. Again, City can't defend one of those long passes. Andre Ayew gets in behind the far right-hand corner. Cancelo, it could have been a foul. Ayew throws the elbow out, doesn't he, on Joao Cancelo? But Cancelo doesn't really go down in a way that makes you think perhaps it was a foul. It goes around rolling his face. It looks soft. On the replay, actually, I think it was a foul, but it wasn't given. Okay, Palace swing the ball in from the corner. Decore, I think it is, he's marking with Anderson, marking Haaland. Haaland is marking him. Haaland then is blocked off by Decore. Anderson rises, wonderful header, 2-0 Crystal Palace, and you think, it's going to be one of those days. Palace have got a wonderful record against Manchester City. They are City's bogey team. But that's not the way it went, is it? Because then City come straight back into it, really, didn't they, in the second half? Now, in the first half, City was struggling. They really were struggling. Kyle Walker playing this false fullback role, it's not going to work. City need to stop doing it. Kyle Walker playing alongside Cancelo in the middle, because a lot of our build-up play, a lot of our player looking for creative passes was Kyle Walker. He's not a creative fullback. He's not Joao Cancelo. He hasn't got the vision. He hasn't got the technical ability. Kyle Walker's best position is sitting back from fullback and controlling the counters. And in the first half, Eze skipped past him a few times because Walker's got so much ground to cover on top of what he's got to cover anyway, chasing these players. Kyle Walker in the middle just does not work. We need to stop playing in there. In the first half, that showed it. Second half, City changed formation. Kyle Walker dropped into a back three with Ruben Diaz and John Stones. We saw Rodri, De Bruyne, Bernardo Silva, Foden, a midfield five, and then two up top. Julian Alvarez came on, but first City did get an equaliser. Bernardo Silva was my key man. He took the game by the scruff of the neck and said, listen, I will be the man to bring Manchester City back into this game. And boy, did he do that. Was just electric on that right-hand side, taking players on. We say he doesn't work on the right-hand side. He was giving nightmares to Tariq Mitchell. Bernardo Silva gets a deflected goal, pulls it back to 2-1. Mitchell goes off injured, and on comes new signing for Crystal Palace, Chris Richards, who just could not handle Bernardo. And De Bruyne out there. De Bruyne had a really poor game, by the way. We'll go into that in the player ratings. But City then came back into the game. A crossing by Phil Foden after a really poor cross by De Bruyne. Alvarez nods it on. Him and Gundogan came on. Alvarez nods it on. Foden into the box. Haaland with a goal for himself. And then the next thing is just unbelievable Erling Haaland play then. A tap-in after a scuffed John shot, a Stones shot that was definitely a shot from Stones. Wonderful play by Alvarez and Bernardo Silva once again. And then finally, the final goal, Erling Haaland, individual brilliance from Ilkay Gundogan to play a pass through to Haaland. He just shrugs everyone off. He's flicking Joel Ward away and puts it in the bottom corner. Brilliant. So let's have a look at the player ratings then after that 4-2 win. So starting with the goalkeeper, Ederson, I'll give him a 5, just below average. I feel like he had nothing to do in the second half, and in the first half he let us down. especially on that first goal. He was crucial to that one. The same goal for João Cancelo at left back. He also gets a 5. Just don't think he was good enough. Not good enough at all against Palace. Not at all. And he offered not really much going forward. Defensively, he was also a combined effort with Ederson for that first goal at fault. Diaz and Stones get 6s. Stones got bullied for the first 10 minutes or so of the game, but really come out in the second half and control the game. So did Diaz. I thought Diaz got bullied a few times in that first half by Ayew, by I think it's Mateta up top for Crystal Palace. But second half, City controlled it. I don't think Palace even had a shot on goal in the second half, and that shows the quality City have. And Kyle Walker also a 6. That back line, Cancelo came off and couldn't redeem himself. Stones, Diaz and Walker, they definitely did. Into the midfield, Rodri in the 7, just above average. Not one of his best games, Rodri. I feel like when we're 2-0 down, Rodri was really pushing forward, and that was leaving us open to the counter-attack even more. I mean, defensively in the first half, City were all over the place. Anderson was playing those long balls, and the defence was just running all over, and City couldn't handle it. I like what we changed to, by the way. The 3-5-2, I loved it, and I think City on Wednesday have got to play that against Forest. In the midfield, I've gone with Kevin De Bruyne at a 4. I thought by his standards, he was absolutely shocking. Really poor. I think his pass accuracy must have been about 50%, if that. Everything seemed to go to Crystal Palace. And on the right-hand side, Riyad Mahrez as well. Mahrez made one really important part, and was crucial in the opening goal for City. The ball comes across to Bernardo Silva. Bernardo Silva's in acres of space on the right-hand side, but he wouldn't be without Riyad Mahrez making that run inside. So Mahrez could have had a 3 really, because he was non-existent. That run inside, that gives him a 4, because he set up Bernardo Silva really for that first goal. Mahrez, I remember saying to the person next to me, I said, that is Mahrez, that movement inside, give Bernardo Silva the space, drag the fullback away. Bernardo, 9. Man of the match, definitely. He was the key man today. City would have not come back if it weren't for Bernardo Silva. Then into the rest of the team, we've got Erling Haaland up top, gets a 9. Phil Foden gets a 7. I thought he was poor again, Phil Foden, but did get a couple assists. Did play better when he played sort of as a left wing back, actually, in that second half. Haaland, of course, a 9 hat-trick. I mean, people actually thought Erling Haaland wouldn't make it in the Premier League. The guy is a colossus player, isn't he? I've never seen someone so quick and so physical at the same time. He's going to cause massive problems in the Premier League. Could he break that goal record? You let us know in the comments down below. Also let us know in the comments down below your player ratings and who your man of the match was. Pep Guardiola, I'll give him an 8, because you know what? He admitted he got it wrong at half-time. He was ready to bring Gundogan and Alvarez on straight away. He stood off it a little bit, then he made the changes, and those are massive changes, and those changes worked, didn't they? And that's how City got back into the game. Alvarez, it was fantastic. We'll talk about him. 7 for Alvarez, just above average, a bit more above average, but he was fantastical in Alvarez. He really was. What a player. An 8 for Ilkay Gundogan, ridiculous pass in that first half. Palmer gets a 6. Don't think he really made a difference when he came on. Cole Palmer made some poor passes. I don't see it with Cole Palmer personally. We'll maybe go into that another time. I don't see it quite yet. I do think he'll get better. And then finally, Sergio Gomez had one shot that got rifled over the bar. It was a really good chance from the edge of the box. He gets a 6 as well. So City against Crystal Palace, a 4-2 win. A great comeback. And you know what? City have added comebacks to their team now. You think when City went behind in the Pep Guardiola years gone past now, City didn't come back. We're a sort of team that took the lead, and that was it. We took the lead and we stayed in front. Now we're going behind, but we're coming back. And that is just another facet to our game, which is incredible. Because if we can come from behind as well, like Real Madrid in the Champions League, it gets in the heads of the opposition. They expect City to come back. They think, we've got to be careful here because City could come back. And mentality-wise, that lets you in. And Real Madrid have got it. Real Madrid have definitely got it, haven't they? We saw in the Champions League how many times they come back. They come back against City. City have now brought that into their game. And I think against opposition that maybe they could go 1 or 2 in front, you still believe, and City will still believe, and the opposition will believe mainly, that City get back into it. Big 3 points. Liverpool, they're firing again now, aren't they? A 9-0 win against Bournemouth. Demolition job. Arsenal still top of the table. They've performed so well at the start of the season. It's going to be so interesting this Premier League season. It's looking at the moment a City and Arsenal title race. Perhaps Brighton as well. I think they will drop off. Arsenal tend to drop off in December, don't they? And I expect then Chelsea, who got a double through Raheem Sterling this weekend, Spurs and Liverpool to be battling in Manchester City this season. Thank you very much for watching. Please do like the video if you haven't already. Please do subscribe to the channel if you are new. And we'll see you guys for the next matchday review on Wednesday after the Nottingham Forest game. We'll see you next time.